whatever. Okay, so in this video, we are just gonna have a good time with one another. So
actually, let me get real festive real quick.
Okay, yeah, get real festive. Okay, so we are approaching a very big holiday in the U.S. known as Christmas. Smell it. I can smell it. All right, so while Sarit gets festive, we've gotten feedback that just learning about us and who we are is fun for you. So this is maybe not going to be as educational as it is going to be just fun. But you know what?
That's why I'm being extra right now.
Great. So what we are going to talk about is favorite holiday traditions or festivities that you did growing up. And so this is going to be interview. You're not even going to light it. You're just going to sniff it
Yeah, because I can
pumpkin
touch
drug.
it when it's solid.
It's the pumpkin drug. Okay, so we're basically just going to interview one another and learn about traditions that we had growing up that we remember the most, had the most fun with, or maybe didn't have very much fun with. So I'm going to start.
Can I make a disclaimer real quick? So
it depends. Maybe it's going to be one of my questions. Tell me. I know. Just part of the fun. So I'm going to interview you.
Okay.
Okay, so no disclaimers needed because you're awesome. Anybody think Sarit's awesome? Would love to know in the comments. I think you're awesome. Yay. Everybody compliment Sarit in the comments. Okay, so here's my first question for you. Here's my first question for you.
Uh-huh.
What holidays did you celebrate around this time of year?
Growing up, I grew up in Israel. So I am Jewish. Therefore, Hanukkah was the holiday we celebrated.
How did they pronounce it?
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Say it.
Say
Hanukkah.
It. Give us a little.
Hanukkah. Okay,
Hanukkah.
again.
Okay,
Hanukkah.
Teach me how to say something in Hebrew. Teach me how like a phrase, like a Hanukkah phrase or something.
Hummus.
I know what that is. No, teach me how to say something that's cultural.
את רוצה חומוס?
I want hummus.
את רוצה חומוס?
את רוצה חומוס? Okay, עוד.
עוד. כן.
כן, עוד.
בטח.
בטח
אני רוצה חומוס.
בטח אני רוצה חומוס. מה זה?
Of course I want more hummus.
בטח.
את רוצה טחינה עם חומוס?
I want tahini and hummus.
Do you want tahini with your hummus?
את רוצה
טחינה.
Like it's Spanish. טחינה וחומוס. כן, בסדר.
יופי. Say יופי. Do you know what that means?
Oh my gosh.
It means all right then. Yofi.
Achla.
For any of the moms in the house, if you have a 3-year-old child and they just did something for the first time, say Yofi. It sounds so good.
Sounds like a cartoon character on a video game.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Yoshi.
Maybe.
Yoshi. All right.
So what holiday did you celebrate around this time of year growing up?
For sure, Christmas.
For sure,
Christmas.
What about you?
Chris.
Do we have any Jewish homies in the house?
Yeah. Which holiday did you celebrate? Okay, so now my question now. Okay, this is cool because we have 2 different cultures. Now, during Hanukkah, what are the types of foods that are traditional? And also, how many days is it? Because Christmas is 1 day.
Listen, if you're Jewish, you know, we go hard.
We go hard.
So before I share with you the favorite foods, the beautiful thing about Judaism is that, everything came from the Old Testament, right? It's all traditions from the Old Testament, and therefore there's a story behind everything that's done. So what you need to know about, so before I share with you what are the foods that we eat in Hanukkah, it's important that you understand what the purpose of this holiday is all about. So the purpose of Hanukkah is to celebrate the miracle that happened around that time of the year, and the miracle was there was only one drip of oil left in the menorah that ended up lighting up the entire temple. And the temple was massive. And it actually didn't make any sense how literally one tiny drop of oil would last. And
so it's a miracle.
It was enough. That one drop of, oil, of course, along with God's superpowers, ended up lighting the temple for 8 days, which was a miracle because,
Okay, I asked you one simple question. You're giving 10 hours of a backstory.
So the purpose, everything around Hanukkah is surrounded by oil for that reason.
So what do you do with oil?
So everything in Hanukkah is fried.
Yummy!
Everything is fried. And, like...
Donuts.
I will tell you because I grew...
Hold on. I want to back up.
Yeah.
Because you're telling, like, a whole life story.
Okay,
I want to know one thing.
What?
What are the traditional foods, period?
Donuts.
Like, let's keep it going.
Donuts.
Okay,
Donuts and fried anything.
What else? Fried what?
Okay, so I will tell you about this amazing dessert
Are we going to hear 10 minutes of like a backstory of where this dessert came from?
No, that my aunt would make. It's called awame. Say awame.
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 And what is it?
It is basically fried dough with sugar and rose water. And it sounds super weird, but it's like it smells so amazing, and it's warm, and it's like donut holes. And I remember,
oh yeah,
so good. We would come to her house and she would literally have an event of I'm frying awame, and that would be dinner. Literally, like I will have a bowl of fried bread, dough,
fried sugar
and
dough.
It would be amazing. And you guys, like, it's so like it was so juicy, literally juicy sugar with rose water. It was the most amazing thing ever. We would also eat knafe because that is just a my mom thing. Anytime there was a reason.
What's knafe?
So knafe is I think it's a Lebanese dessert, but it is basically goat cheese with I think it's like shredded phyllo dough with pistachios and again rose water. It sounds super weird, but I would say it is one of the most incredible desserts ever.
It's like crispy, nutty,
and I'm not
sweet.
Yeah, and I'm not even a cheese person, but I love it. But I think we ate it because my mom really loves ba'alawa and knafe. So anytime we would come over to my aunt's for awame, my mom would want to bring something. So we will stop at the shop. It was just an Arab bakery. If you ever like had a chance to go to an Arab bakery, it's the most amazing thing.
Where was it? Was it in Jerusalem?
No, it was in my hometown.
Oh yeah.
It was in the it was in that neighborhood. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So we would stop there and she would bring a tray full of knafe and ba'alawa, and my aunt would make awame.
You say ba'alawa.
Ba'alawa, which stands for
the English
baklava.
Yeah.
My mom is Syrian, so like, in Arabic they say ba'alawa.
Ba'alawa. Americans would say baklava. Baklava.
Baklava does not taste as good as ba'alawa.
Because ba'alawa comes from like the
hometown. It's like saying hummus and hummus. Hummus or hummus. It's like there's passion to it. Okay. So what did you eat?
Well, first, let me tell you about from since I was 2 years old until now, everything that I remember.
Okay.
No, so for Christmas, like, it's either going to be some kind of, there's Christmas Eve and there's Christmas.
Okay.
And so, like,
Nice.
one night you'll have, like, this is just my own home. Like, everybody does it different. But
What did
usually,
you do in your own home? Drop it in the comments.
But usually we would go to, like, somebody's house for Christmas Eve, and it'd be somebody else's house for Christmas. And we would do, like, the protein, or, like, the main part of it would be either, like, ham or something else. So just one night it'd be one thing, the next
Nice.
night it'd be another thing. And there's always, like, okay, so I'm going to talk about unique things because that's more fun. So
I'm actually interested because I would like to know, like, what did you do? Because for us, all we ate is like desserts for dinner. Like, what did you have for dinner?
You have spent a Christmas with my family.
Yeah, but it was one time, so I don't remember.
And it was
that.
a really long time ago because then, like, COVID happened and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And we haven't been there for a bit. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a legit nice meal.
So, yeah. But the unique things, so, you know, for Christmas, usually there's some kind of, like, dinner rolls, and there's, like, some kind of yam that's not, it's like sugar yams, it's like dessert. Some kind of, like, maybe a green bean casserole, or cranberry from, like, the can, like cranberry sauce, where it's like a little jelly block.
Can we what's
Hold
the
on.
purpose of that?
Hold, that's my turn. A little jelly block that comes out of the can, and you just cut it into
What's
slices.
the purpose of that?
It's beets. What did I call it?
Cranberry sauce.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So no, maybe it is
It is
beet?
cranberry sauce, baby. It's not beets. For
Okay.
sure.
Anyways,
but what's
I don't know.
the purpose of that?
It's like a sweet thing. And then a very unique thing, my mom will always make yummy salad.
That is the only thing I remember.
She would call it yummy salad, and it's on the dinner table as though it is a part of dinner. And do you ever notice that, like, as a part of dinner for, like, a lot of traditional American families, half of the dinner is actually dessert? Like the yummy salad. So it's not too far off.
like the
from,
sweet yams and
Yeah.
the cranberry juice in a blob.
Yeah, and yummy salad, which is basically marshmallows, whipping cream, grapes,
Snickers,
nuts.
No,
not Snickers. You're mixing a different story I told you from a long time ago.
Okay.
It's like pineapple, coconut, like, it's sugar. The other thing is there's usually some kind of, like, casserole thing, but it also has, like, marshmallows on top.
I don't think your mom made it when I was there.
Anyways, yeah, and then the traditional, okay, when I was a kid, I'll talk about when I was a kid. My grandma, I was telling you about this just, like, last weekend. My grandma would make rhubarb cobbler.
Yes.
So rhubarb is a root, it looks like it's part of the celery family, but it's, like, gigantic and it's red. And my grandma would make a cobbler with it, and it was, like, crispy on the top, and then we would, like, right out of the oven with some, like, vanilla ice cream. So good. Also, then you have, like, the, you know, apple pies and whatever other kind of pies and cookies. And my mom would make almond roca, and she would make caramel corn, like homemade caramel corn, not like the perfectly round circles that are, like, mass made, but, like, literally she would pop popcorn, air pop popcorn. She would make the caramel sauce on the stove. She would put, like, butter on the popcorn after she popped it. She would put this caramel sauce all over it, mix it up. Then she would put it in the oven and, like, bake it.
Whoa.
And it would come out like, oh my gosh. And she would make extra, and she'd make little bags, and she'd give it to people. But then she'd have, like, a tub
For you guys.
of it for us, and we would just smash
Tell
it.
me
So
she
good.
put nuts in there.
No, but, like, gets
Oh,
stuck in
come
your
on.
gets, like, stuck in your teeth, and
Uh-huh.
so good. So good. She would also make her own almond roca, so it's not in, like, the little round tube kind of, like, you know, cans. where you pull out an
She
almond
would
roca.
start it out in a tray.
It's a full tray. So she would like make the chocolate with semi-sweet or whatever chocolate chips.
She made it
would
to
make
perfection, you guys.
She would make the chocolate all melted. Then she'd pour it on a pan, lay it flat. Some kind of like toffee something she would make. And then she would like let all the chocolate cool. The toffee would go on top of it. And when the toffee was hot, and then she would sprinkle like the almonds on top. She would crush or like smash the almonds, and then she'd sprinkle them on top of the hot toffee, and then put it in the fridge and let it cool. And then she would take like a butter knife, and she would just like break it into pieces. And it was just like, no piece was ever the same size. Just like some of you were like, I want a small piece, or you like get this big piece. It was so good. I bet you she still makes it all. I just haven't had it for years.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are the unique things.
You know what holiday dessert I really loved when I came to America?
Hold on, let me guess. Give me a hint.
I don't think you're gonna guess it.
Give me a hint. Is it chocolate?
Of course.
Okay. It's chocolate.
It's chocolate related, holiday themed.
Is it anything mint?
Uh-huh.
Chocolate with mint. Chocolate candy canes.
No, is there such a thing?
I'm sure there is.
But it's similar to that. You just think more chocolate.
Chocolate. What?
Guess.
Chocolate mint.
Peppermint bark.
Peppermint bark.
Oh my God.
I was close.
The first time I came across that shit.
That's like almond roca, but peppermint.
Oh my God. It was so good. Dude.
Peppermint bark. I could get down with some peppermint bark.
And there's some that has like a chocolate layer and a white chocolate layer and a chocolate layer and then peppermint on top. Come on now.
Crispy peppermint, like.
Oh yeah.
Like chunks.
Yeah. So fun. I would literally eat the entire bark.
All right, well.
Okay, so I feel like I had another.
My mom would also have us open one present on Christmas Eve.
Oh, I know where. So you were just telling us about what you would eat for Christmas Eve. You didn't tell us about Christmas Day.
No, that's like both. It's usually like the same types of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But my mom. Okay, so we'll talk about tradition. Like what other than food?
Okay.
My mom would have us unwrap one gift on Christmas Eve, and it was always fucking pajamas. Always.
Dude,
like
I
we
feel like
knew
every American mom does that shit.
We knew. We were like, we already know what this is, and also like I just sleep in shorts and a shirt. But she would still insist plaid, some kind of plaid pajama. If my mom watched it, she'd be like, Erin Michelle. Oh my gosh. Okay, tradition. What is like a tradition that you had?
So, I just told you about us going to our aunt's for awame.
Awame.
The other one is, so, you know, Hanukkah lasts for 8 days, and every single day.
By the way, this year,
Yeah.
it starts the evening of Sunday, December 18th. That's
No. Oh, so that is a week before Christmas. Nice.
it ends the day after Christmas.
That's awesome. Okay, great.
And maybe when this is being released, actually, is going to be like maybe during Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Let's sing a song.
Hold on, which one of the songs?
What's that Adam Sandler song?
Do you remember the Hanerot halalu she'anu madlikin? Hanerot halalu she'anu madlikin. Ve'al הנפלאות ve'al התשות ve'al הנננה. Okay, so other traditions. I'll tell you. You know, I grew up in a very traditional Jewish family, so we actually had plenty of traditions. The other tradition that we will have is So Hanukkah lasts for 8 days, and every single night you light a candle, right, as a way to commemorate the lighting of the temple, right? So my mom comes from a very big family. She has 6 siblings. So what we would do is, like every aunt will take a turn every single day. So
that's clutch.
This day we will go to this aunt, and this. Can you imagine when I was a fat kid?
It's a week-long party, man.
Dude, like every single day after school, donuts, awame, like party time.
That's so fun.
Party time, right? So like we'll go. So we'll go light a candle, and what does go light a candle mean? It means all the aunts hang out together. Every aunt brings like something, right? Like we all just eat and talk
and eat.
Yeah, it's just like in my big fat Greek wedding. What do? We eat.
We eat and we talk really loud.
And then we would sing, and then we would eat more, and then we would go home. So that's one. I think in the first night, we would always go. So, back then when we lived in Israel, my grandma was still alive. And if I remember correctly, I was really young back then. It was our last Hanukkah with my grandma before she passed away was when I was 11. And we would go to her first, and the tradition was for the grandparents to give the kids money. If you live in the U.S., you see, for Hanukkah, all these chocolate coins, right? So there is a money symbol with that holiday, and I think it's because like money and miracles. Not sure, but anyways, we would always get money from our grandparents for Hanukkah. So we'll go to one grandma, and then we'll go to the other grandma, and they will give us money, and then we'll go to our aunts, and then it's like party time, donuts, and just
money and fun eat.
Yeah.
I have a song for you.
So those were the traditions.
I had to look up the lyrics because I knew there was a song. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. Oh, here comes Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. And then he says, Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights.
It's true. Okay, so what's a tradition for you? Just the pajamas?
I said the pajamas in the evening. When I was a kid, though, like when I was young, you have your dad's side of the family, your mom's side of the family, and we usually spent more time with my mom's side of the family, but Christmas Eve was one of those times where we would go to my grandparents' house, which was my dad's dad and stepmom, and they lived in Washington State. We were in Portland, so they were in Vancouver. It wasn't that far, but it was like, a trip, and like we'd look at the Christmas lights on the way there, and I always remember, like, as a kid, like, you're really selfish. Like, all you care about is you and what you get, and like usually, like, you're the most important thing in the entire planet when you're a kid. And so what I remember is they give the good presents because, when like somebody has a little bit more money, it's not as big of a deal to them to get like something that as a kid feels like a really big deal. I look back at it and I'm like, oh, what a selfish little kid. Like, what I cared about was like the good presents. But
How big are the Halloween candies?
But I don't think I'm alone. But I don't think I'm the only kid that's like, yeah, you have a certain like relative that gives you like the good presents. Tell me I'm not alone. I'm not the only one.
Standards.
Okay. But here's the thing. Is like growing up, I'm like, man, I want to be able to give like those kind of presents. You know? Because it's something about like it made me feel special because it was like, wow, like, every year it's like it felt like there was a lot of care because they didn't get to see us very often. So it was like, I really want to treat you, But anyways, that was one of the other traditions was like going to my grandparents' house from my dad's side of the family on Christmas Eve, it was like an event because we had to travel a little bit further to get there. We didn't see them very often. We'd have dinner, play with their dogs. We would like exchange gifts and then go home. But that was another kind of tradition when I was younger. Oh, another one, always we would stay the night at my grandma's house on Christmas Eve. So like the whole family, like I have 2 aunts, and one of them has 3 kids, so 3 cousins there, and they would all come, and then my other aunt would come with her husband, and then it would be me and my 2 brothers and my parents and then both of my grandparents.
Okay.
And so there was so many people in one house, and it was so exciting, but because it's like Christmas Eve, oh my gosh, and the kids, we would sleep upstairs in this one room. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Maybe some people would sleep like out on a couch or something like that. And so I just remember that being like a really fun time that we had. It was like, oh, we're going to stay the night at grandma's, and then when we wake up in the morning, everybody's just there together, and it was really cool. So I feel very fortunate to have had that kind of family closeness and experience when I was younger. I know a lot of people don't have that. And then we had, like, families started kind of moving around the U.S. So then it just became smaller and smaller. It was like these parts of the family or those parts of the family. So anyways.
Hey, listen, regardless of, what your holiday experience has been, growing up, like you said, you're like the togetherness of the holidays, I think, is what makes it very special. And if you're watching this, we are very grateful for you being a part of the ES Army family.
Army/family.
Yes, you're very important to us. And this was just another way to, add value to you by showing you a different side of us and a little bit of where we've come from. And, if you find it in your heart, we would love it if you could drop in the comments, what has your holiday experience been growing up or, up till now, and,
Or what are you looking forward to this holiday?
Yeah. And regardless of where you come from, what matters is where we're going. So happy holidays to you. Much love and gratitude. And we wish you